Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and we've teamed up with Polar Tactical to bring all you out there in internet land a competition challenge that you can enter. If you've got a rifle that is 10.5 pounds, 4.76 kilos or less, you can play. So, what are the rules? It's very, very simple. You take your rifle, you go out to a range that's at least 50 yards long, doesn't matter how long as it's at least 50 yards and you know how long it is. You shoot it from the shoulder and you shoot one 10-round group once. No mulligans, no do-overs, no, oh, I've just thrown a shot, those are my sighters, that was just a practice. None of that. The whole point of the challenge is that it's called one MOA all day long, and if you're an adult performer, as you are, you should be able to pull it out and do it on demand. So, you can enter up to 3 times with 3 different rifles. So it's one group of 10 rounds at one aiming mark per rifle. You film your attempt, you go and measure your group size with an app on a phone such as Ballistic X or whichever one you prefer. We don't trust our own work with calipers, so we certainly don't trust yours. You send us all the information that's listed in the rules that are linked in the description to our email address that's on screen. And entry is free, but there's a tip jar you can hit. It's my Buy Me a Coffee account. So we'll see how much is in the tip jar at the end and we'll decide on prizes. Now, even if you can't do one MOA, that's fine. We would really like to receive your entries anyway, and we'll certainly consider really cool entries, really brave entries, really obscure rifles, cool LARPs, anything like that in the competition for the prizes at the end. Now, why are we doing this? So we know that your $4,000 super duper heavy barrel, extremely heavy, matched competition rifle with finely tuned hand loads can do one MOA. And for those who don't know what one MOA is, it's kind of taken as the sort of gold standard for rifle accuracy, and it's a 60th of a degree. So if your angle subtends 1/60th of a degree, which is 1.047 inches at 100 yards, or about 29 millimeters at 100 meters, scaled for distance, that's kind of taken as what people expect. And manufacturers have all sorts of different guarantees around, we guarantee this rifle will do 1 minute of angle, and usually it's all bullshit. But most of the discussions online end up going a bit something like this.
My Winchester Model 70 would do a 3/4 MOA off of the bench from a cold door every time, and that's why I picked the Savage Axis. You know what, I'll tell you, my M1A, I shot that thing at the National Scratch. So I shot at 25 yards, and man, I tell you, it everything's the size of a dime. That's
the whole group fit inside the head of Abe Lincoln. Not that I'm conveying anything by that.
No, but I'm telling you, that's got to be a MOA. That's got to be less than that, because I tell you, I could suck the chrome off a bumper, but that bore's got a good nitride on it, and for $1,300, it better be shooting that good. Don't you remember when you could pick up yourself a 1903 Springfield, cut that stock down nice and tidy, and get you a good half-inch group at 100 yards? Now, I love that Model 70 you got, and I love to rub my face on it, but I do tell you that, you know, when I was not having that much money, I did see me that Remington 770, and I do declare I have not had a single problem in the whole box of ammunition I've run through it. And I have put several 2-shot groups together to make a 1/4 inch. And I think that is a accurate rifle.
To me, that sounds like it might be middle of angle all day.
Listen, this is important. If people say, I have not been able to produce such accuracy, it is because they are fools and they are attempting to make their own ammunition. And listen, if the box of your bullets does not say the same thing as the side of your rifle, you will not get a good group. That's just plain and simple. So when my Winchester Model 70, I take that white box, and that's how I get one MOA all day.
Thanks so much to Matt and Ivan for doing that for me. That was superb. You, sirs, are gentlemen and scholars. Now, what really set this off in my mind was I'd done some groups with CZ600 Trail, which I'm loving. And a lot of people were very surprised that it couldn't do 1 minute of angle. Now, a lot of what people are putting out there as my gun will do 1 minute of angle is heavily curated 5-shot or even sometimes 3-shot, or usually 3-shot even, groups, and making claims off of what's basically statistical chance. I mean, if you shoot the rattiest AK over and over again, eventually you will get 3 shots into less than 1 minute of angle. This doesn't actually tell us anything. I've done some content sort of explaining a bit why it's dangerous to work with groups that are too small, and you can very much convince yourself that you got something that you haven't. Now, we're working with 10 rounds because it's a round number, it's a decent number of shots, and it's a lot more representative of the actual grouping capability of the rifle than any of these other nonsense things. And I believe that some of these 1 MOA guarantees from these rifle manufacturers is basically, we'll shoot it until we get 3 shots into 1 MOA and then we'll call it's a 1 MOA gun. It's all a bit silly, and I think people should be more honest with themselves. It's the sort of gun nerd equivalent of the heavily curated and photoshopped Instagram things. So if you're interested in some of the decisions as to why we chose some of the things we did in this, we chose 10.5 pounds as the upper weight limit because that is the US Benchrest Sporter weight limit, and we tossed it around between ourselves and with a few other people, and we couldn't see any real justification to go up or down from that. It seemed to include everything we wanted to include and exclude everything we wanted to exclude, because, as I said before, your $4,000 accuracy machine, we know that can do that. The whole point about this my 1 MOA all day long fuddly thing is completely bog standard rifles, like your $500 Savage or whatever that you bought from Cabela's or whatever. So we're trying to be in the realistic territory, and it discounts the sort of lightest UK target rifles. So I weighed my L39 and it's over. So that's what we were trying to achieve with that. 1 attempt, because you've got to be able to pull it out and do it on demand. If it's 1 MOA all day long, that means 1 MOA all day long. We wanted it to be shot from the shoulder because no lead sleds, no bench clamps, none of this funny business. It's shooting is very much the interaction between the person and the machine, so we wanted to get that in there as a factor. And beyond that, it was just knock yourselves out, because I've seen claims of practically every rifle being capable of 1 MOA all day long. I even seen there's this guy in the UK who got kicked out of the Lee Enfield Rifle Association, and one of his things was that any old number 4 should be doing half MOA, and it was just ridiculous. And he infested my comments for a bit, but he seems to have gone away now. But anyway, so that's what we're doing. Hope you enjoy it. Summary: up to 3 rifles. 1 entry per rifle, 1 group of 10 rounds, no mulligans, no do-overs, basically any way you want, as long as the butt is in the shoulder, and send us the results and we'll see how it goes. And we're looking very, very much forward to this. Closing date is the 31st of August 2024, so if you're after that date, you're watching this video later, sorry you missed it. If it goes well, we'll do it again, and yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who supports the channel. Look forward to receiving the entries. I'm going to make at least 1 entry, not with the trail, because I know that won't do it, but I've got BMS Cam that might, Tikka that might, Franken rifle might, if I hand load. But we'll see whether I've got the time and energy for that. So, see you again sometime. Bye.